This is pretty bad. Talked to Doug about this. I'd change that board or zap a few, pre-drill and zap a few big 3-inch screws just to lock it down. A lot of people rebuild a lot of this, but ooh, yeah, going down the road, going down the alley. I got my blower and I'm going to town. Milwaukee, 2020. Going down the road, going down the road. I got my blower to where nobody knows. Milwaukee 2025. A lot handier than that beat up broom. Alright, since we're in a pinch for time, Tommy, we're just gonna make this tech repair. We're gonna pilot a little bigger hole than the screw at the very top where it's a little longer. Then we're gonna finish the pilot with this 5/32 right here. Then after that, we're gonna strike into our Milwaukee at T25 star drive bit and finish it off good. 2025 Milwaukee. Alright, all that chamfer will do is let the screw bite into the wood a bit more for the repair here. Doug's. Just gonna center my screw in my chamfer hole. That's just gonna guide the screw in so the board doesn't split any worse. Alright, so I've got my bigger screws lined up for the bigger holes and my shorter screws as the repair goes down. I saw evidence that at some point somebody tried to make a repair here. We'll just keep it alive. This board's at the end of its life expectancy. Hopefully it can last the duration of our paint, a few years. Then maybe he'll be changing the whole stairs. This bit I chucked in, if you can see, it's a sleeveless bit. It's probably not magnetic, but this bit is a little trick. It will allow me to bore that screw into that hole, whereas the sleeve would likely catch on a different bit. Those tricks, right? And I've already pre-drilled all these holes with pilot bits. Can I do it left-handed? Can I show off to the crowd? Shaky. Milwaukee. Oh, you know, one thing I didn't do, pull that out. As I do this, as I screw it in, I am going to need 2 hands because I'm going to want to bring that stair up and just match it up perfect. Maybe we'll re-drill that. Oh, that's good. Just tight enough, but not too tight you damage the board. You can see, oh yeah, that is stout. That's a nice repair. Getting some more life out of these stairs, and oh, got my blowing done, driving down the alley, taking the blower back in Milwaukee. Milwaukee blower, that is, in Milwaukee. 2025. Doug will be glad I finally remembered the hammer. Fish it out of there and get some of these loose nails pounded in so they don't catch people's feet. It's some super thick paint. It hardly even goes into the roller. And then I just roll it on there and then spread it with the brush. But you might be ahead of the game just to stick with your brush. Alright, so this Home Depot porch restoration product leaves a real thick, shredded kind of pattern. And as I work my way down these stairs for the final coat, I think that's what I'm going to go with. The other way I could do it is just go ahead and brush it in and show the grain, which looks better on the top floor, and just to see what these stairs look like. You know, they're pretty rough. The first coat brushed in hard to all those voids. Second coat does that final shredded pattern look. Not too bad. You know, if you just left the first coat, you could kind of see through the white paint bleeding. It's just all up to the artist, I guess. Bob Ross would be proud. It's a pretty good tool. I was able to grate through some of these crevices and crevasses. And it's got a paint can opener, I think. It's got it's a sturdy, it's not like a taping knife for drywall. The final coat's textured, but as I worked my way through it, I just saw a little spot you can dap where you get some runs and everything, you know. Just backtrack. As I'm working my way down, I'm just making sure I'm examining my work and getting underneath those stair treads, just so there's no dirt and brown and cobwebs. And I have my brush over there. I'm making sure that these little tread voids that you can barely see are full, or if at least not covered in paint. And I can't decide on these. I kind of left them textured underneath the treads, but maybe I'll brush them for. Alright, back in restoring these stairs. I'm just making sure my whole concept matches the entire staircase. The treads and beneath and the front of the treads are all textured or gritty or whatever you want to call it. You know, you could come back and back brush the insides for a little contrast. I don't know, but I said to myself, if I can avoid messing up this concrete too bad, I'm just gonna go with the treaded pattern. Maybe I'll ask a passerby, and I'd get these ends too, but I got all these. Well, I guess we can paint the landscaping. Yeah, I make it. It's about consistency, you know. You don't want a bunch of mismatch work, you know. Put that final finishing touch on it. And you know, you'd need some brown paint to come in, and if we get time, but we got we got a lot of houses to fix for Doug. A stubborn nail that got left out. And I think what I'm gonna do is just maybe in a little area to experiment where I can easily reach, just gonna feather with the brush a little bit of this texture just underneath the stairs, just to get that contrast. And those boards were pretty bad under there with a lot of chip and paint, just to blend it all and make it look really good. Yeah, it's hard to see with these lenses, but that's the trick, just doing a little bit of knockdown on that texture. What do they call that? Bonus points. A drop down finish in drywall, a Mediterranean drop down if you're going down. I don't know what they call it, side to side like this. But that'll just really, see how it's too smooth here? Hasn't quite dried out enough to match those. Sometimes you can get carried away with the details too, and you just gotta step back and move on.